All three of my recent operas that have been done at the Met are about events either within our lifetime or within recent history. Dr. Atomic is about the making of the atomic bomb. Nixon in China, of course, is an opera about politics and power and personalities. And The Death of Klinghoffer is about terrorism. To write an opera about terrorism is undoubtedly a provocative idea, but I didn't do it to be controversial. I didn't do it to be provocative. I did it because opera is the art form that goes to the max. It's the art form that is the most emotional, the one that goes the furthest. And in a sense, terrorism is the same thing. Terrorism is the act that goes to the max, is the act of desperation.
The events that inspired this opera were very, very current when the opera was written. A hugely controversial event. It was the hijacking of the Achille Lauro passenger ship in the Mediterranean in 1985. And it was essentially a luxury cruise ship that was going around ports in the Mediterranean. And 4 Palestinian hijackers smuggled themselves onto the ship and took the ship by force and held all of the passengers hostage. It created a huge international incident. One of the passengers, Leon Klinghoffer, died. He was killed within the hijacking. It's an enormous challenge to stage this opera dramatically because, in some ways, it's a combination of an incredibly dramatic event and almost like an oratorio. So, in terms of staging it, the main challenge is to try to find a way of combining those two things, to make the story feel vivid, comprehensible, and dramatic from an audience point of view, while harnessing this extraordinary music and this extraordinary text. What we've done in the production is use different theatrical languages, including projected text, to make sure that the basic narrative and what's going on for the characters is really clear for an audience. The events are being remembered as if the survivors are looking back at them and trying to work out what on earth was going on in those extraordinary and traumatic moments. And those events are punctuated by choruses which are overwhelmingly emotional.
I do use the chorus to set what I call the oracular tone. When the chorus sings, it's the voice of nature. You know, there's an ocean chorus, and there's a desert chorus, there's a night chorus and a day chorus. And there are choruses for both the Palestinian exiles and another chorus for the Jewish exiles. So I use the chorus to sort of speak as if from another planet.
The most important thing about this opera is it doesn't assume that it has any answers to anything that it's addressing. It's saying, let's spend some time wrestling with the very difficult questions that arise from this very difficult conflict.
The Death of Klinghoffer's been around now for 23 years. Every time it's produced, there's controversy. I didn't compose the opera to court controversy. In fact, I was a bit appalled at how hot some of the response was, and there have been people, including many esteemed writers and music critics, who have said that this opera should never be performed because it's too sensitive. Our opera tries to look at the terrorists and the passengers and see humanity in both of them, and for some people that's an egregious mistake. I don't feel it is. I feel that for all of the brutality and the moral wrong that they perpetrated in killing this man, they're still human beings, and there still has to be reasons why they did this act. I think that what Alice Goodman and I've tried to do is to create a work of art that makes people feel. And music is ultimately about feeling. And that may be why when people go to the opera house and they experience this opera, they have strong feelings. Music is effective, and if it's a good performance or even a great performance, then you're going to feel all the more strongly. And I think if we've succeeded with that, that's a good thing.
Is not the day.